If a man is not the husband of one wife, he is not allowed in all that polygamy to run a church. But men want to rule and they want to run and they want to teach and they want to do what they want to do. So they ignore the scriptures like Marcus Rogers, like Prophet Lovey, putting themselves in positions to teach even though they have taken second wives, third wives, fourth wives. Don't come tell me about divorce. If the other woman is still alive, she's your spouse, you're committing adultery. Polygamous men putting themselves in positions as pastors. Just a comprehensive disregard of what God has to say. Comprehensive disregard. So, I mean, what enables a man to succeed in a journey, in a feat of polygamy in 2024, where women put their feet down and they were like, I'm sick and tired first and foremost of arranged marriages, and I'm also sick and tired of sharing men. I don't want to do it. And now we're being made to, it's like everything we have overcome. It's like overwhelming or overcoming systematic oppression. Now no longer are non-blacks, now are no longer non-whites oppressed. And then just 30, 40 years after the repealing of slavery, somebody being like, it wasn't broken, let's try to fix it. I mean, like, it was obviously broken. And yet you are going back to slavery after we overcame it. But the only reason why anybody would actually have that bizarre idea rock up at the top of their brains to bring back slavery is if there are people who thoroughly think it's bring backable. Like, when people make something that is just bizarre and crazy look normal, that's when society starts to now re-embrace a treachery of old that we overcame, and reimagining it as something else. We all agree that slavery was wrong and it was right to be repealed and abolished. Anybody who tries to bring it back ought to be regarded as crazy, insane, an oppressor, a tyrant, a barbarian, right? True story. But then when there literally is like a group thinking conglomerate horde around the person who wants to reignite it that agree, and he has an alarmingly, surprisingly large audience of psychophans happy to say that this is okay, do you not then on that day realize that there is a mind control brain disease that's causing people to go back to treacheries that were rightly abolished in the past? This polygamous disease infiltrating our bloodstreams of in South Africa is being strangely embraced. It is being strangely embraced by South African women. And maybe it's Africa or it's 2024. Never in my life did I ever imagine on the come up growing up that I would ever be encircled by so many willing to be shared women. Yes, like it, guys. Hey man, it's confusing, but it's not, because that's just the last days. When men are proliferating polygamy, it says that the whole chunk of them can't be priests for God. They can't be priests for God. They can't be reverends, pastors. They cannot respond to the call of God on their life with any level of prosperity. They cannot successfully respond to the call of God on their lives. They can't. It's you. By the moment you divorce your wife and try and take a second wife, or the moment you, in a customary law marriage, insist on taking more than one wife, you call that you can't be a pastor. So manje, when pastors, when men are not raising up to be, basically walk in the office that God will call them to be, who is left to preach, teach children, run the show, be the patriarchy that is respectable? Nguban, you are causing God to raise up female prophets, prophetesses that are so prolific and so strong and so girthy in their gift that they're causing a shriveling up of insecurity in men. Because a woman is out here literally doing the job of a man in a way that men weren't unprepared to. You relinquish your potential call to lead people out from the land of slavery and into the land flowing with milk and honey the moment you take a second wife. You completely relinquish it. And these men don't care. They just want to run. Women rule us with an iron fist with no godliness and expect us to accept in our stride that polygamous stain. While comprehensively I get it, polygamy is not necessarily a sin in the sight of God. He does, however, frown on it. That much is clear. He prefers his sons to have one wife. Even Solomon, lacking wisdom, he did what he did at the end of his life. But nonetheless, in the Proverbs, he said, husbandman, always be satisfied with the breasts of the wife of your youth. He couldn't do that. But man, oh man, how wise it is that he wrote those proverbs, right? He wrote excellent proverbs in all that wisdom, but then did not walk in it. He did not practice what he preached. He could not enjoy the breast of the wife of his youth. He had to have many more. So if at all polygamy destroys men, South African women, niyazibulala, you are destroying yourselves. by standing back, watching all of this insanity, indiscretion on the part of men in a strange state of groupthink, frowning upon women that insist on being the only one in the life of a man. You frown upon us because you have it's like you have reinvested in slavery. We overcame, especially black man's desire to have 20 wives. And here it is that in 2024, you are okay. You are not even boycotting the entertainment industry for proliferating this agenda. You can tell that they're teaching us nonsense. You can tell through the entertainment industry. These actors in all of these shows that are busy taking 2 wives. First they start with 1 girl, and then I get confused like Skilo. I'm in love with these 2 chicks. I don't know which one to pick. Gets another girlfriend, and then you as a viewer will favor 1 girl over another, thinking maybe the dude is gonna get back together with that chick. And then somewhere along the way, the storyline has it that the dude gets to marry them both. And the sad and disquieting thing about these women in the show is that they get to a point where they accept it. And when you look at these women in these shows, they tend to be accomplished women. They tend to be educated. Basically, they're you and they're me. Women that on the come up, over my dead body, Jabu, me be your side piece, Wangtella. Now they're like, okay, I can see where this is coming from. So now it's peeped out of the television screen, hopped out of it like The Grudge or The Ring, like a horror nightmarish movie, and it's come into waking life. I saw some article not long ago about Java, that entertainment industry Oki, taking a second wife, and this buffoon female is there with this big chummy smile on some, I'm gonna be Java's, second or third wife, and I'm just like, you are lying. Because ain't no woman gonna be content with sharing a man. Hagona contentment. Who is going to be in a cockpit lana fighting? Who's gonna be in a cockpit fighting? It's not this dude. Like I said, if these men don't protect us, see where we gonna go? They stand back. It's like Fight Club, but instead of it being Brad Pitt and some men, it's women with each other, getting into a mosh pit, punching one another in competition for some dude, some men. When they share men, it's never the man that is told A, B, C, D, Q, dude, I don't appreciate Z. Eyelashes are fake with girl. The person here that loses their falsies in a fight is the woman. The person whose blush becomes real cause unale 5 finger, not from a man, from another one. Keep aside. They're the ones that fight. Even in the scriptures, the women are the ones that scratch each other's eyeballs out. Men don't even intervene between abafazi babo abalwayo. Basadi batengi balwana. Banna ga ba intervene. They don't intervene. They just let the women fix it among themselves. This is the man is the one that puts you in a polygamous establishment, and yet he can't even, keep order between 2 women. Look at Hannah and Penina. Penina was out here mocking Hannah constantly because she couldn't have a baby. Penina was jealous of the fact that Elkanah loved Hannah more. Hannah was always crying, and all that Elkanah could say was, am I not worth more to you than 7 sons or whatever? He comforted her, but did he rebuke Penina for mocking Hannah? No. The man will not stand for you when your sister wife is out just trying to literally gouge out your eye. Look at Rachel and Leah, 2 sisters that probably got along like a house on fire before they got married to the same man. And somewhere along the way, they are just fighting over some sons' mandrakes. Did Jacob do anything about it? No. The woman just went and cried to God until the Lord remembered her and opened her womb. Rachel, that is. Women cannot share the same husband and be at ease with each other. There will always be some spawning between these women. There will just always be. I don't even know what in the world was going on with who is this? Solomon. I can't. 300 concubines, 400 wives. Yo, I know. I don't know how those women got along. I don't. I can't. But abafazi, women are the ones badulang balwanang. They are the ones that fight. And if at all, we don't take a stand and just refuse to be some dude's second wife, who is going to protect us? They don't care because they know mo kitchening. Ntwa se over yena, haro karapa ena, ro karapana. We are not going to go and scratch the man, we're going to scratch each other. And so he just blums at a distance, and then maybe after 2 hours of fighting and you are busy putting makeup over your bruise, he might just come to the favorite wife and be like, I'm sorry, am I not more than 7 sons to you? The only way for Hannah to protect herself from the derision of Penina is to refuse to be Elkanah's second or third wife. We get to refuse. We get to. These are no longer the days of arranged marriages, but we're sitting in South Africa where it is that this thing is being proliferated in the entertainment industry. You are the ones that make men feel entitled to just taking anything in by funai. You have accepted your status as either as mistresses, side pieces, to a point where you will even put a TikTok talking about how it is that your married boyfriend is passing you shade and is ghosting you, so now you're gonna call the wife. It's always the women, bakarapanang. It's always the women. You literally go for the other woman when the person here that lacks discretion is the man. Women are to stay men's like propensity or proclivity towards being crazy. And if we don't do that, we are done for. This ICBM is gonna come and slap us as women. We are done for. You guys. You get to say no, and I've been saying no. But because so many of y'all have been saying yes, your husbands, I'm being killed. Because that's what this graduates to. It graduates to how some head die. Men become violent when there is nothing staying them from continuing in that streak. Their curse is to lord it over us. They are going to want to rule. When you rule someone like a despot, a sovereign, when a person says no or does not obey your command, you either imprison them or you kill them, or you force them to do what they don't want to do. So either coercion, so putting a woman in the house of a man that she didn't sign up for, like Abimelech taking Sarah, like Pharaoh taking Sarah. You don't want to be there, but you're there. If they can't succeed with coercion, then they go on right ahead to prison. If you don't want to be with me, you're not going to be able to motion your legs left and right, up and down. Otoba stack, otoshapa statue, ice cube, icicle, that's you, girl. Olo freezer statue. So there's nothing you can do with your life. You will spend the rest of it in prison. Or, worst case scenario, they will kill you, body bag you. That's what's good. You either are raped in a marriage that you didn't sign up for, because or you are put in prison, blocked on all sides, or you die. This is what is your only options, ladies. Of course, there is the fourth option of gladly just being in the situation. So the path of least resistance then is taking in your stride. In Dabayaguti, you are a second or a third wife. You don't wrestle it. You just take it. You just take it. When you just take it, then you won't know that you're in an abusive relationship. Essentially, you suffer from a severity of Stockholm Syndrome. Mawi Tata Njega Lula, you are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. You're hostage taker, you're capturer. You love him. You busy on some way. It's a begezela girl, that's you. Ka 2024, when nothing's a piece of hotella, we am begezel. Papa. You're like Karen White. Early in the morning, I put breakfast on your table. I make sure there's some coffee. I make sure that your coffee has some sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy. Your toast done lightly. All that's missing is that morning kiss you used to give me. So basically, you start out all right with a man, and somewhere along the way, things just don't work out all right. Because a man that is entitled to you, instead of feeling honored for having you, instead of being one who found a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord, is not even gonna respect or appreciate the fact that you are the best scone baker in the game. He won't care for the fact that you can make the best puff pastry and therefore croissants in the game. He won't care that he comes home to a house smelling of pledge and bleach because you that like super spring cleaning female. He's not gonna care that you are like fertile Bertle, able to pop triplets and bounce right back again with your stomach being flat like nothing ever happened. He won't care about the fact that you are able to juggle a whole bunch of stuff. Everybody thinks you're beautiful and that this guy's like super blessed to have such a gorgeous female for a wife. Yeah, all that which basically you have to bring to the table in daughter that is entitled, that you just gave yourself to. Only second or third or whatever. Akazobona, the blessedness of having a jam-packed woman with so much going for her. He's not gonna see it. So like Karen White, one day, we don't talk the way we used to talk. It's hurting so deep. I got my pride, I will not cry, but it's making me weak. I'm not just superwoman. Dum 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 dum. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human. That's how you get my point. You end up lamenting. Beyonce has a modern version of Superwoman. It's called Why Don't You Love Me? Tell me, baby, why don't you love me when I make me so easy to love? I got beauty, I got this, I got A, B, C, D, and F. There's nothing that I can't do, but you don't care. You keep coming up with all of these songs, singing them about dudes who have literally everything they could ever have in a woman, and yet somehow strangely act a fool. Indoda that is entitled to a woman that has got a polygamous mindset is always going to feel like there is more where they came from. And women, yini and basizayo, you are the ones that help them to walk in this insanity unbridled. The wickedness of women is enabling the wickedness of, guys, your men, Nahakobina, why don't you love me when I make me so easy to love? I'm not going to be singing I'm not your superwoman. I'm not going to let some polygamous fool take me and then still insist on leading a church as a pastor, completely ignoring God. Baby mama drama, can't deal. Always all up in my ear. Even though, frankly, the person here that you need to be dealing with is the man. Because you always got up at each other as women. You always come down the throats of other women. Barely ever are you going to make the man the center of why it is that you all need to be punching some things. And then when you're all bruised, the dude is happy to come only later and be triage, hey? Patch up, bandage, a little bit of methylated spirits on your open wounds. That's that dude. Not first before the one I'm favoring, he will then go to her and say, am I not more than 7 sons to you? Women always come at each other, and women, this like a phenomenon that you are walking in has brought an intercontinental ballistic missile to your doorsteps. I am being killed by your husbands. Like, it's your husbands. Like, I feel bad for you. Nyanzwela, guys, I feel bad for you. Your husbands are on a murder spree. I'm like, yo, guys, if I was married to a man, the pain. Mara, you're hurting me. I'm not like that friend of mine whose boyfriend died and she couldn't go to the funeral. I am the woman who avoids and then she finds out in the office I'm like, oh, it's a pity. 2 years ago. As the colleague, you go to the memorial service, you see the wife crying. Gadi, it's not antrana. The way I lang it's a book get thing. As I say, 2 years ago, high and low. But this time around, at least you get to go to the memorial service as a colleague. You don't go there as a bereaved girlfriend. When the wife is also crying, but everybody don't know why you're crying. Not like that. Like, hey, anyway, whatever. Strong, Shem. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, young man. I spilled my tea, my coffee on myself. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, guys, these men are evil, y'all. Like, I can't. I am presently under so much attack, it's not even funny, from a plethora of married men. That's why I get South African women yanzwela, because ngamatota enulawa. These are your husbands. I'm not priding myself in being so fabulous, wonderful, and phenomenal that your men want me. I'm not that girl. I've never been that girl. That's just the thing, women. You need to start having respect and appreciation for the women that reject your husbands. Stop fighting us anyway, because the person here that's problematic is the man. And a lot of times these men are like this because you trained them. You trained them that this is okay. You did not push back. You didn't clap back. I was listening to the abuse. I was listening to a brother in Christ, Corey. I don't know what his surname is. He owns a channel on YouTube called Smart Christians Channel. I follow him. I really enjoy his content, and he loves to talk about soft men. He's covered quite a few videos speaking about these men, like over and over and over again. He keeps raising it. I'm pressed to pee. That's why I'm jumping up and down like this. Let me just go use the bathroom. Hi, I'm back. The sun is setting, so the sooner we get this out the way, the better. Let me just drink my coffee. I was telling you guys about Corey, the guy that runs Christian, what does he call it? Smart Christians channel. On his channel, he likes to cover the topic of soft men. Essentially men that aren't really men, and they don't necessarily have to be gay, but they are definitely not manly, even in the slightest. I like watching those videos, Ezika Corey, because it's refreshing to hear it coming from a man. The very things that I lament against constantly concerning men who end up feeling severely entitled. He speaks about how it is that, like, all these men listening to advice from other men as to how to be a man. What in the world is going on over there? Like, what is going on? So the huddling together by men, where it is that they teach each other smack as to how to deal with women. Why don't you get your instruction from Jesus Christ? Why are you not turning to the Lord? Not only that, he says that real men don't clap back. Real men don't clap back. When he said that, I was like, hallelujah. These men who feel upon you rejecting them that they have got to do something to show you that they're men, to show you that nobody says no to me, to essentially make it clear to you that you are making a grievous mistake by rejecting me. He makes it clear that men like that are not men. Real men don't hit women back, even if the woman was to slap him. Yes, women should not be out here taking pride in slapping men. But men who slap women, who hit women because you hit me, you're a girl. You're soft. Also, men who decide to do reaction videos to what a woman said, or who act in a way so as to retaliate against what a woman did. What in the world? Those are not men. Real men don't clap back. And ladies, we are dealing with an epidemic of clapping back men who get super annoyed, crazy irritated when a woman says either no or puts it out there that I don't want to be shared or to share you. Like, they literally feel offended when a woman does not want to be with them because they either have an ex-wife or have got these horrendous stats like second wife, whatever. Like, yo, if a man feels like it is within his prerogative to end you because how badly ubona where he's coming from, that is the graduation to a state of being in the last days of men and women to alike. The nth degree of men wanting to rule women, and the nth degree of women being so docile under wicked men that they refuse to acknowledge that God is the first and foremost authority before men. And if men are ungodly, women have a prerogative to rather choose what God would have them do instead of capitulate to an evil patriarchy. The Lord never ever intended for women to subject themselves to the tyranny of an evil patriarchy. We are to subject ourselves. We are to be submissive. But under godly men, we have no such duty for ungodly men though, because then that makes you sin against God. That makes you disregard God. You cannot, as women, just kind of take in your stride. Other women are going to be now at the mercy of how crazy irritated you are that your husband likes Karabo. I did not call that on myself, but now I am dying at the hands of some of y'all's husbands. The dreams I have been getting, you guys, the witchcraft. I literally had a dream of some dude, of a man saying, whatever engenayo ngizoyisebenzisa. Cabanga man. Whatever angenayo ngizoyisebenzisa, ngizogcina ngimtholile. He was like, whatever she doesn't have, I'm gonna use it. Labantu abesenandaba nesHlongwane ever. They don't care that hell exists. They don't even believe. I mean, the only reason why a person would be acting like that is if they don't believe the scriptures. When a person is so entitled, when they have been taught to no matter what, oh, you are just another thing that's standing in the way. They think of you as a tough stain, a tough case, but nonetheless something that is doable. When then that's your husband, sisters, it's not gonna do anything for you. Because at the end of the day, I'm vocal about what is going on. Bakhona abanye aboTakin ababoreke nje in silence at amadoda enu. So ningizondela indaba yokuthi mina I am vocalizing ndaba hore bana balona batsweletsileng bana balona ba bodile man batsweletsileng. I'm vocal mara hona le ba bang that are suffering in silence. Bathulile bathotse ntse ba shebile boso ya bona ntse ba shela in corporate motshwate nganyetsi. And so you don't really have beef with her because she hasn't made it clear that your husband is hitting on her. Kodwa, if people don't speak, when are we ever going to be okay? Nakhona, even the entitlement of these men is also because abafazi bayabayekela. Buloyi bobukana. The level of witchcraft, like amadoda atwele. You know, women, your love of money. I keep saying that. Le health, wealth, and prosperity ile sinze. This doctrine of health, wealth, and prosperity, where they tell you, Uguti, tithe, so give, it'll be given back to you, whatever. Taking scripture out of context has caused you to think, Uguti, indota, insofar as mali. But your men they lack moral character, very basic principles. They don't get them. And total basic, they don't. Because You have not stayed them from committing genocide as Abigail. You have abandoned your duty. You are walking in a dereliction of duties as a woman. God made women to be helper suitable for men. It is not good for man to be alone, especially after the fall. If you don't walk in a peaceable and a quiet spirit, and if you don't make yourself something that is unattainable, unachievable, ungettable, ungrabbable, and ungrabbable, but the dude that prides himself in grabbing yonke into that's grabbable, he told himself that everything that's hard for everybody else to get, he tends to get it. And so because all spoiled, the capitulation of women all over the show that once told themselves, Mina, I will never accommodate a married man. Because he was able to woo you successfully. I don't know how many times I rock up here and I warn women how to spot Korobel, how to identify a person or kula. But guys, I did a whole video explaining the story of Philip to you. Philip, that guy that I used to date back in the day that had a little bit of a crazy streak in him. And I spoke about how it is that the graduated Philip learns witchcraft and uses it to manipulate, because Philip is a guy that's lost way too many women because they didn't want to be with him, and now he controls them with witchcraft. Because you are ungodly women, you can't escape witchcraft. You can't escape Korobela. They keep on spiking your drink successfully, such that these guys now feel entitled to teen that are holding on to Jesus. Hey. The only thing that would cause Philip, I'm outside now because it's getting dark in the car. The only thing that would cause Philip to feel entitled to a woman like me that keeps saying no to him is because time and time again, women have allowed themselves to keep falling under the insanity, the insatiable one at that, of Amadoda, that after their first spell, they got what they wanted. Here's the very bottom line, y'all. Okay? Witchcraft works on you because you don't love Jesus, you love money. You don't love Jesus, you love money. So every time some dude that you initially rejected comes all up in your grill, this time around using Korobela, you capitulate. And such a man as this, when 2, 3, 4, 5 times they succeed to get a woman that initially said no, he will then bump into a Karabo, a truly godly woman, and feel entitled. And when Karabo raises it as a concern, when Karabo is like, guys, I've got a problem with Philip because and no for an answer. You fight me for making it clear that your unruly husband is in my hair like a tick. Do you not see that the only reason why Banjena is because you have not walked in your Abigail disposition? You did not stay a man from doing crazy things at first, and so now ufila engati angathatha yonke le South Africa. Literally ke lorile ka monna are engwe lengwe ntho anang le yona go isebedisa ke be ke mo cry. Everything that she has, that she is still struggling with, ngiyoyisebenzisa ngize ngigcine ngimtholile. Cabanga umuntu onenkani kangakho, umuntu ozokufosta kabuhlungu kangakho, uzomenzani? Ayitshwetsa hore yena o tlolo ya kere everything aka itshwatlang mo strateng on the left and on the right of you. Obogcine unkile ntshwayo awufang yona, ha o mo batle. Top of that, batho ba bakula bana le ngolaza ene ke bona ba lefileng yona disease ya teng. O involved mo di occult ritualing, sleeping around all over the show in orgies for the sake of making money. Besa yobuye ayolala nawe as umfazi wakhona, and cause ujwayele uthola yonke into that he gets through lama ritual. Besa afila ngathi uKarabo nje is just something that he can spot and identify. Batho nkopa go letlotlela ka monna lona ne banna balona quite a few. This is a problem in South Africa. Mara ke dila ka all races, right? There's like literally a target on my back. Y'all know that okay, I'm working. I'm a professional again. That's what needs to be understood. So habasa khona sebetsa tabaro ha kena mmereko anymore, right? I try to do videos speaking about how it is that do better, okay? It's not different. Because ki mo modimo mfile mosebetsi le sa spice kelem. Ki mo modimo mfile mosebetsi le sa spice kelem. You can't say over my dead body because clearly hona le motho that makes sure nyoko ya lona falls on deaf ears. Azang ba repenta batho ha ba batle Jesu, ha ba batle modimo. Ha ba sa batle modimo, ha le bona hore it's your responsibility, your prerogative as women who te protect from banna ba senang taba hore modimo got your back. Nka se nna ke ntse ke tlo ke latolla morago ke ditlhare tsa banna ba ntse ba le busy ba tuba everything mo tafoleng yaka, like literally dropping everything on my table by wisa nje fela ka. That level of sabotage Y'all are in danger. There is an ICBM headed for your camps, coming from Amatota N, and you will die from collateral damage or indirect line of sight of that ICBM because you think you can sit back and do nothing where I am concerned. Liberate. It is your fault that Lamatota are like this. And imagine, Mama, if when men fall apart, when they are evil, the whole world ends because they dropped the ball. They're the patriarchy. God gave them the job to run the show. And if they are running it with an iron fist, ruling people with a gavel, when they are running it without truly loving, without being truly gentle, without when they are just taking when they are running things that way, guys, it becomes genocide on that day. They literally say take it or leave it. No, they don't say take it or leave it. They say take it or die. If they can't force you to be with them because and if at all you still don't want, he will try to kill you. And what are you married to, guys? What are you married to? Your husbands have got the blood of innocent women on their hands. Uyamfuna high-end lo umuntu wakhona as a mistress akasibhayisikele msokuthi lo muntu akafuna ukuba yi-mistress. Guys, some of y'all not mistresses because baniyenzile ngenkani. Some of y'all that said ukuthi angeke wena uzojolana neboss yakho and then you end up having an affair with that dude. Did they not make you? Because look at how much nabang foster ka botlhoko ka teng. Ke a sebetsa, guys, habana taba. I told you guys the other day about those dreams that I had with that random like menacing insistence ukuthi mina ngiyolala necolleague enjanje just ngiziphonse, throw away my convictions in Christ because they just feel like they're gonna take what they want. Amadoda eno athwele ba kukile dinoga le ditikoloshi and ba senya South Africa kaofela e felletse. Guys, when that is your husband, why wena o busy ntse o kwatetse Karabo le Pinki le Mana le Refil wa ntse o kwatetse Tebogo ko officing o entseng Tebogo other than be in the unfortunate line of sight of your deadbeat husband? Amadoda eno, do you understand, that are destroying Lana and basadi le Karaba basadi ba bang because you keep on standing back. You support them along in a wicked agenda. You accommodate never mind gender-based violence, but I wanted to say is polygamy. You accommodate polygamy. Makatalapo indoda yakho namase in nice and entitled, having been fattened by your complacency. Besa yobuya 10 years down the line azofuna uKarabo ngenkani. uKarabo magazingeni. When Karabo doesn't want to, she then dies. Tshwantse ke lo tlhokafala na jwano. Ke lo bolaya ke monna wa teng o ke le wonileng gore this is what's going on. Labantu, they can put me in the grave lankutlo. Mara ka usane yo ba bana ba lona because ke bona ke re that up and coming the Gen Z. Ke bona ba kena ko corporate hona no. You're gonna keep on burying your daughters, Lankuta. You are gonna keep on burying your sisters. These twasified guys but all over the show, they are so entitled that in the background bana swimming pool baswima mara motho teng o busy shebane on the internet le mosadi o mmatlang kankane bana ba hae ba ntse ba le busy ba displash mara swimming pool ha spice ke lemsa gore o ba utlwisa botlhoko ha spice ke lemsa gore o utlwisa mosadi wa teng botlhoko and ha spice hape le ke lemsa gore Karabo ha mo batle le yena self. So everybody starts to get hurt by this guy. The prospective mistress doesn't want him. The sons and daughters of this man don't want him to cheat on their mom. And of course the mom does not want her husband cheating on her. But this dude is salivating, licking the computer screen of some woman online. O sa motsebeng ebe le tlo rabazana le tumpana le khatanna nna la telletse nna morao basadi to ka di phanga tsa lona le di phafa ha leng batle nna ke rejectile monna hao ke aka mo rejecta because ke monna hao ke mo rejectile because na ha ke batlo go ba second wife third wife and happy ke mo ngwana mo rena Jesu. I'm waiting on the Lord and yet your husbands are still insistent upon me ke krele mmereko mara ke thotse toro. When one of y'all's men was like, go sebedisa engwe le ngwe ntho enka e sebedisang aba qinang kile ntho ke mo fang yona ke tlo monka kankane. I had a dream kile Judith in Temptation. Like Judith, and you know, have you seen the movie Temptation? Judith, you know how she settles compromises Harley and then he gives her HIV. Types it up thing. Killing Judith. Kile monna nje fela go tlo nthusa go lo aga my own business. Bang agela some building where it is that I would then operate some kind of business that I was running from there, and he had paid for it in full because apparently allegedly it's not enough for me to just have a regular 9 to 5. So essentially this man, what he is saying at the top, your men are evil, guys. Ntwa buang is this o na le mosebetsi fine mara I'm gonna make you lonely ha o tlo ba le dichomi ha o tlo ba le monna ha o tlo ba le bana batho ba go ene ba tlo nnentse ba go ravas. Long story short, Karabo mamela negele o ska tlong bora ka 9 to 5 ya gago nna ke kgonang go controller grandship even if o kraya promotion ko yona ngazi okay. Bottom line is me, I know how to disquiet umuntu nge lack of contentment to a point where you are going to sit most long sa gago ko officing o borege o batle more for yourself o batle more until you take me. Kenkane ya bona kenkane ya banna balona, they come home and say honey I'm home. Makutalapo, he closes himself in his office and streams YouTube videos watching a woman that can never be his, and then insists on imprisoning her because as by skelem sahai and says I bane how to capitulate o gcina o tlhoka fetse Karabo because ntho enna ke tsebang ukthwala kwami ku hectic. The thing that I know very very hectically, bottom line is lantse o le strong o le sterkisi ke gona ho bolai. I will eventually get to you. I am going to so basically I told you either you gladly accept rubbish or you coercively sit in an environment where it is that bago foster with an iron fist ngenkani, so basically you're like a rape victim every day, or you get to prison, you get put in prison or you die. And in the 1 year prison is the tenement of them bago notlela behind invisible spiritual walls. Horotlo besha tlhoga gago mo leboteng ontso batla go ya pele morago left and right, any kind of your ya go church and fela you can't. Ha o gono tshela morago ha o gono ya pele, you can't shuffle left right, basically just the blockage of your person to keep you in a grain. Obe o tlhokafale o itse keng re ya mahodimong re high. We're going to heaven, guys. Like this year cannot end in nothing but the rapture. Banna baso. Banna balona bantse ba protect abasadi towe. This thing is not going to result in kausa ne bokamoso ku bocha confirmed. Ikamva khohlwane. This cannot end well. Moya o wang bora because I can tell we're likely gona le shavo na le ya moya. So the sooner I can be done with this message the better, because I don't like the wind. It messes with my audio. Okay, if at all this is what your men are like, there's no future for Tina Sonke. There's no future for Tina Sonke as a concert la tlhaloganya moya ona o tlong bora because o tlo ba le this in my camera. So let me just try and see if maybe I can't chat the rest of this message in my car ko light le bonanyana ka montle. Guys, this dude we just zoro on blogger ang blokolle lang kutwa ang blocky, and as a result of this insanity okay, that was the first dude. Let me just go on to tell you the other dream nele monna le khowa, a white man, a married white man. So black girls you are at the mercy of crazy men, but it turns out you're not the only ones. This time around it was a middle-aged white man, and it's not the first time I've seen this bugger in my dreams. And I can't even tell you if he's from South Africa, but one thing that is certain is that Naye, just like Lamato Dala all over the show, he is also entitled to me. Some white man that is mad at me and I don't even know for what. Marlena Ungpata as a mistress. Mutwatengi utletseka murder lankutwa. He has tried to do ama death rituals aingaki over me angas. I don't know how many death rituals he has tried, but I had a dream of him literally with 2 other snipers, one on each side of him, one on the left and one on the right, just shooting into Indluyam where I was living. Just shooting. Ba, 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 ba. I already told you about the assassination attempt in one of my other dreams with some dudes chilling on a perched on a some kind of a elevated structure shooting at me, and I came to him and I shot him dead. So I basically took his weapon from him and then killed him with his own weapon. Well, this time around I had 2 other snipers on the left and on the right of him, and he kept on shooting. And in my dream, Madi appeared all over his own body. The blood that he was trying to spill was busy pouring out of his own body and the bodies of the other 2 snipers on the left and on the right of him. And I understood that Lendo Talena is trying to kill me because Bafra, when you are frustrated by a person's piety, when you're frustrated by a person's right standing, Umuntu right, a person is right, they are the ones here that are doing the right thing. Bese uzoba fra of that. When you are frustrated because a person is rejecting you rightly, and you keep on committing spiritual crimes against such people. Hi, Bani, your country is teeming at the falls with people like that. Who is safe? If at all, people are killing people for choosing not to settle with them. When a married man is killing a woman because she refuses to sleep with him, she is making the right decision. When the people in society who have made the right decisions are being killed for making them, the world is upside down. Wrong is called right, right is called wrong. Just like Corey said, Smart Christians channel, real men don't clap back. And I have got men that are clapping back. And me getting a job, and so being free from them, of me saying, no, I'm not going to be anybody's second wife, third wife, fourth wife. No, I'm not going to go minangyoyenza a blended family, ngena family I'm of my own. I am not going to take in my stride all those things. I'm saying no as a woman because mina, I want to be godly. I want to serve God, and a futi, I want to be able to be nendota that's going to be able to successfully serve the Lord without breaking rules. I tlo ipeya like a reke and say ke pastor or ke deacon or reverend or whatever. Is a husband of one wife who's children are above reproach, able to teach and all that jazz. I don't want me to be put next together to a man that is going to cause me to be disreputed as a woman because I am saying no because first and foremost, priority to God. Number one person that I honor and respect and obey and worship is God. And if at all a man under God respects God's precepts, then I can be submissive under him. But do not expect me to be submissive to a dude that's completely ignoring what God has to say about orderly worship, a man that's completely disregarding what God has to say about the call of God on your life. If you want to be a pastor, an evangelist, a priest, this, that, whatever it is that is the office that a man will walk in, if at all he's walking in it and he's unbiblical, he is not going to be my husband. I am just honoring God. First and foremost, priority, keep God. And these people are killing me because I am biblical. So it's only a matter of time before anyone with any kind of morals dies because somebody has made a decision which nobody says no to me. When you're being killed for being right, it's only a matter of time before genocide of children and women, innocent, just happens because some entitled war criminal men that have taught themselves witchcraft charging all of us like a battalion of unruly soldiers here for no other mission but to commit genocide. No other mission but to kill the men and women and the children of a city due to tabayahore ba borwa ke goodness, ba borwa ke holiness. They cannot stand the righteousness of God. They cannot stand people who say no to them because they have to say no. A young woman has every right under heaven to say no to her boss fraternizing with her in the office. When then she gets fired for that? When then a person, when a young man is told when a young man is being given counsel by other stupid men to go and sow his real own, to date as many women as he wants, all over the show as much as he wants, because that's what a man does, and then he gets to die for that. When both righteous men and women are basically dying for choosing to be righteous, there is no world left for us anymore. Do you not see? We don't have a world anymore. This wind is worrying me. We don't have an earth anymore. Like, the rapture can only happen. In the presence or in the climate of so much other operating witchcraft. Because I worship God first and foremost before ke tlo ba wa redina ka biological clock. Before nna ke tlo ba wa redi ka taba hore ke na le 40 or 50. If at all I'm going to be dishonoring God, you all need to understand, I am trying to make heaven. It's the last days, Philadelphian church. Do you understand? Philadelphian church. I am trying to make sure nobody steals my crown. So age 50, when I'm so close to inheriting an incorruptible body, if at all my biological clock is going to keep on ticking, give him more geriatric than I already am. If at all that is what it's going to take for me to enter heaven, to essentially not have what it is that I ask for in prayer. I'm prepared to take all that in my stride. So now I gotta die because I'm prepared to be like a 45-year-old spinster, as if they're 40, is not bad enough. I'm sorry, like, guys, as in all this nonsense. Okay, so hulukile ne, hulukile, it's okay, guys. Like papa hulukile, ha le tshepe modimo ke ra le motshabe, hanka le tlotlela. My YouTube channels, you all know I'm already shadow banned. I am already what do you call this thing? They have taken away my advanced features, so I can't monetize, I can't click on my links, I can't do anything. And I've been uploading on there anyway, except like bang closely in like no one but my subscribers. That's what's going on. I am okay with that. To a point where I've won a contentment with the fact that I'm not going anywhere, because I trust that one day in the future I'm going to be able to upload my four YouTube channels. Crancat, do you want to say hi to the people? My 4 YouTube channels, shadow bendi, accept like y'all know that I've accepted. I've taken it in my stride. It is what it is. Angsananda nya upload and content on a channel it did. Well, guess what? They went after my animated channel too. I had 4 YouTube channels that I was uploading on before now, and then I tried to run away and start an animated channel, and there you could still click on my links. I'd already verified and did whatever. You could do whatever. I have not uploaded on that animated channel for maybe like a week, because I'm waiting to upload, because my content is taking forever for me to edit. Guess what? They came for that channel too. So I was not able to access my advanced features on my 4 channels. Then I ran away, came back, and now I'm just uploading. And they came for even my animated channel. I got an email this afternoon telling me that I have lost access to advanced features on YouTube, on my Animated for Jesus channel, the one where I upload only animation. Lenjalena. And this one, the one that's busy causing me to be shadow banned everywhere and having my advanced features taken away, is a black man from South Africa that's very wealthy. It is a black man from South Africa. He went for even my animated channel. But the thing that I am trying to highlight right now as like a whole thing is basadi ntse le busy leng ignore ke banna ba lona ke mo ba busy ba ntse ba nka di YouTube channel tsa basadi ba sa ba tsebeng ba nyetse banna ba teng bana le bana. Some of them bana le ngolaza ba busy ba konya di ARV every day. Bana le ha ona ntho that's what I'm getting at. Mara motho wa teng o lateletse morago nkare ke mogatla mosadi o seng wa hae o matla high and low, and we just o tlo sebedisa di strings tsa gagwe tsa kgonang ho di phula no matter what. It's bad enough they came for my first 4 channels, mara now ba lateletse ke like my animated, and the thing is I don't care, because bottom line, and so far as me, I can still upload my videos at all, right? Because I recognize that one day in the future I'm going to be able to, people are going to watch me. Guess the rapture's going to happen. So that's the reason why I keep on posting content everywhere. I keep posting because where it is that people are going to watch it when I'm not here on earth. It's an animated channel. This little animal animated channel because I give him. And then there's some white man that's trying to kill me. Unzali busy got the death spell because I give him. And then some of them but busy and then one of them said that engwelengwen twaka is sebedisang ekisnang yona o isebedisa ke ke tsene ke capitulating ba ikae banna bana ha ke tsebe ba bangata. And all of them have got the same ambitions where I am concerned. All of them have got the exact same ambitions where I'm concerned. And never zijele that no muntu lona uzothatha anything. Hey, hayi bani banketsa so ke hana ke lemzalwane. How many of you women have settled? How many of you women have taken it in your stride? How many of you women have accepted this for status quo? How many of y'all have embraced in your stride? How many? How many of you started out on some I'll never do that, but now you ended up doing it? Kid, this is the level of coercion. This is the height of coercion. The way by forced But literally pull channel getting the advanced features going on. I only had 19 subscribers. Bang blogile before I could make my 20th subscriber. New subscribers that I gained on that channel. Baba unsubscribe like go fail. They sorry. They have kept me on 19 subscribers. So how to tell Musadi Muraho channeling and the subscribers say 19? How about first our on that day? I was never gonna monetize. I was never gonna monetize on that channel. I was never going to do anything other than just upload content. Kote. Ke uploadela bokamoso bo ke sa botlhaloganyeng by faith in Christ. Am I uploading on that channel? Do you understand what I'm saying? I will never monetize. They have made doubly sure that never ever happens. How in the world you gonna go and force a person? There isn't even a single one, single. Not even one. It's your husband's. Channeling the subscribers in 19 that has got no views with every new video and you upload. It's like a contingency to make doubly sure 100% that I never monetize just in case something gives. This bang just in case. Motako o busy patala batho ko YouTube. O putse di stream ko YouTube. Are Karabo khatlo bua. That is what it is that we're dealing with right now. And with all of this nonsense with the opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympics, when this kind of stuff is being done to the body of Christ, kaze, bukamoso. You think we're gonna leave you? You think you've got a future? South Africa, oh, global citizenship. Naive. You are naive. You are naive. Herein lies the bottom line. Video the last one that remains. Herein lies the fact of the matter. Deal. This can only result in a rapture. There's no way God would allow this like extremity of psychosis and manipulation of my person without it ultimately giving something in the end. I'm just grateful that I can 9 to 5 nyana at least all over the show that's like the moral of the story is Basadi, be content in whatever situation you're in so you don't have to end up like this. But bottom line is we are going home. There is no way this is not going to result in a rapture. There is no way this is going to just continue to be a going concern and a status quo. On a planet full of men like this. If you don't want to be with me, rape everywhere. YouTube channel ya gago o go tsaela di promotion ko mosebetsing ha o tlo ya anywhere bathong amantota eno a twele hard knock ka Satan, and you are sitting back doing nothing. Basadi do women, you are just sitting le blomile le dutse le di thotsela just watching amantota eno ba abuser like no man's business. Women abangazingeni siyafostwa ngoba nina abanye abafazi nibathathile. You have embraced them, you have accepted them, you have taken in your stride ukuthi uThepiso wami unjena, uBrian wami unjena, uSteven wami unjena, nibathathile la haka dinyoko tsa bona, all of their nonsense. And now ngamhlanje siyahlukunyezwa la emgaqweni, sithathelwa ama YouTube channel, siyahlukunyezwa la emgaqweni, ra abuswa, ra tlhoriswa because haridikeni hosadikeni, of which you would be grateful msadito, because nna ke hano go ba le monna hao mara o bizu ka gapa nna o tumpa nna o lateletse nna morago ya mosadi wa teng, mara monna hao ke eno snang maitseo, ke eno snang tabaka taba gore bana ba swimming ko swimming poolung ha ba tlo ba happy ka taba gore tota teng o ntse le busy ka some complete stranger on the internet. Ke lateletse morago ke bana ba mpatlang as a mistress, and because I'm saying no ke bolawa ke setse ke tlhokafetse. I am dead, but they're making sure I'm super dead already. Kaze uzolandela a YouTube channel and I'm a subscriber I 19 kanjani nsha if you're not desperate. 19 subscribers, I'm not going anywhere. Top of that, mangi uploader akuna muntu obukelayo kodwa bangithathela ama advanced features anyway. Amatota enu lawo hore ubadetse bokae this time around to come at my 5th YouTube channel, I don't know, but bottom line is I'm going to keep on uploading. Ke tlo ntse ke uploada because ke tshepa gore modimo at some point go gona ho upload ho bonwa, mara ke tlabe ke bona ke re setse ke le mahodimong, ke tlabe ke le mahodimong kana kwa teng, mara this here ke le fatshe la lona yona nonsense etsahala lefatsheng la lona kaofela le kopana ke it's your world, it's your planet, it's your earth, it's what you have taken in your stride, it's what you've accepted, it's what you have allowed to just roam these streets. And then man qeta lapho bese niyohlukumeza abanye abo taken after madota eno abole kabuhlungabi, give them that much grief. Your men are evil women, they are evil in ways that are frankly unfathomable. They are evil. La matota eno atwele are evil. evil in ways that are, like I said, unfathomable. And yet you are making this my issue. You are saying me that needs to be trampled underfoot. As basadi marabona bana balona ba etsang basadi ba ba sa batsebeng on all together on the internet. Basadi ba thusang basadi ba bang basadi keneng ho robala le banna ba batho ba ba banna balona bang tutsise fubeng. They are sitting on my chest, crushing my bones, while you sit back in your envy and your jealousy as women and say, what does it have to do with me? Everything, honeybee, because you're the one that's going to be trapped under the rubble of a building that burnt down because your man released that ICBM. Do not say, I did not warn you. I warned you. In the worst way, I warned you. I sent out a siren and alarm. You got all the warnings you needed, women, and you did nothing. So now whatever God is going to do going forward, it's on you. Now all I'm going to do is hunker down, get what I need to do. Get laptop, get type, get send the email, get whatever I need to do. Mara, whatever comes next, it's on you. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm signing out in Christ's name, K. Bye.